Hello, good morning, happy Sunday. I pray it's happy for you. I hope this visual is coming across appropriately to you right now. I'm not sure if it is, but if it's not, I'll fix it and work it out, work out the kinks for next week. I am Elder Messenger, your church recovery coach, and I'm sure that a lot of people are gathering today on Sunday in church, but I'm here for the people who aren't. I hope your ass isn't in church today because that is not where, in these day and ages, that I believe God is. This community was designed by the divine to restructure your heart and mind and soul around the idea of church. Honestly, to assist you in removing yourself from the organization we know as church and put you on a new trajectory, which is learning the relationship between yourself and God as God. Because I do believe that the end times for the church are here. And so I believe that I was called slash kicked out of the church because someone needed to be available to walk the people out of chaos and into consciousness. Someone had to be the sacrifice to be able to assist the people that got the message that church was no more and be here to assist them in their recovery from church hurt and trauma. If you don't know my story, I think it's been 10 years ago now that I was removed from the church. And you'll hear me bounce in and out of language when I speak on here because I understand in the natural what happened and I understand in the spirit what happened. So you hear me bounce around in language. But I was kicked out of the church. The leader I was under at that time did not support me being openly LGBTQ. And although I knew that was his stance, this all had to happen so that I could be here today for you to show you that God does still love you, that your relationship with God becomes more amazing when you remove the church from your consciousness. So I'm here as an example to show you that you will not go to hell. As a matter of fact, I've experienced more heaven even now that I am no longer a part of a church or an organization as a church that operates like a church. So, welcome. I hope you're there. If this is for you, awesome. If it's not for you, maybe it's for someone else that you know and you can share the message with them. But I am here to remind you that you do not have to subject yourself to church just because you don't know where else to go, just because you don't know what else to do, just because your family told you it was the way, just because you can have an authentic and absolutely life changing experience with the love of God, as the love of God, without church. I want to apologize to you if you have been hurt by the church. I want to tell you that I see you. I want to tell you that I know you, that we are one. And I'm not here to bash the church. Let me be very clear. I am not here to bash the church. I am here to deliver the message of the love of God, which is what I now know as the love of self, and to be an example of what your life can look like if you are brave enough to step out on true faith and walk out your relationship with the God in you as you without the assistance of church. I do believe church can assist some, those that are in really, really, really strong need of community. But I do believe it is very dangerous for those who are not strong enough to understand the position that they're in church. I'm an advocate for self-study, self-taught. I'm an advocate for walking out your healing experience. And as long as you can understand that, to each his own. Do whatever it is you want to do. But I'm here today to let you know that the church was not designed with you in mind. The church was not designed with you in mind. What do you mean, Mel? Let me sip my tea and I'll get into it. When I say the church was not designed with you in mind, I am saying that the system that was built did not have your best interests at heart. Okay? The songs we sing, the order of the way that things are set up to give, the way that you're asked and required, almost basically required to serve freely. It was set up for you to give all your time, talent, and treasure to them. And you got to understand my language here. I'm speaking as someone who grew up in church from birth. I've seen it, I've lived it. And I had to walk out this way, for a reason. So when I'm talking to you, I'm speaking from my experience. What I want you to know is any organization, this is where I'm at right now in my belief system, you all. This is what I've seen. This is where it's been hammered into me of the last few years of study. Any organization that requires you to first give outside of yourself first is not designed with you in mind. To ask you to pour from an empty cup is not designed with you in mind. Let me give you practical examples. A big one is the tithe. A lot of churches believe in the tithe. They believe in giving. I'm a big giver. I truly am. In my heart and soul, I love to give. What I learned on this journey was that I was giving out of, not out of overflow, but out of an empty cup. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot give who you haven't first given to yourself. Now, I had to shell out a lot of money to get this lesson. I sowed a lot of seeds to get this lesson. Okay? I want you to understand that I'm not negating the power in giving and gratitude and worship in that aspect. I'm telling you right now that your first priority is you. Your first priority is you. I'm saying your first priority is you. If your own house is not cared for, God does not want you to take care of another house. It's literally a contradiction. Your home is your first ministry. Your body is your first ministry. Your own mind is your first ministry. And anyone that makes you feel as though you cannot do that in peace is not of God. Now, the tone of these new messages that I'm putting out right now are going to be a lot probably clearer, sharper. You're going to see that I'm settling into the message of self-preservation, self-healing, self-growth, self-personal growth and development. The reason why it hurt me so bad to be kicked out of the church, called out of the church, was because I was not built up for myself. I did not know who I was fully. I did not understand what I was called to do fully. I did not understand the love of God for me and how God loved me and how God wanted. I mean, I knew I wanted to be prosperous because I grew up prosperous. but that it was okay to be selfish before you can be selfless. It would make no sense for me to be hungry and then give my food away to somebody else and then die of starvation. That's stupid. And I know this might sound sharp, but it's true. So my message is for people who are not in church today. My message is for people who maybe had a past in the church. My message is for people who uh, are in the church but thinking about leaving the church or don't understand where they fit in the church. This is for you. My life, my relationship with God as God, and I say it that way, you guys, because you have to begin to look at yourself differently if you're going to make it. That's another thing that the church is not being clear about. They teach you to worship a God outside of you. Look for God to come through for you. Pray to a God outside of you. It takes all your focus and puts it on a God. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Give us your treasure. Like, yo, first. No. If I start breaking it, over time, I'll probably get into the Bible a bit, but it won't be to teach it as the way you're used to. It'll be a different lens. Because that's one of the first things I told God when I began the journey of walking away, because I knew it was coming. Show me you in the Bible where it made sense. I'm not reading anymore. Prove yourself to me. You know you can ask God to prove God's self. Show me you. And then the Spirit, as I spent time, began to dissect and correct a lot of things that I was reading, that I was not reading clearly. Okay? So, my life is a living testimony, you guys. And I don't want it to go to waste. I don't want my pain to go to waste. I don't want my trauma to go to waste. I don't want my hurt to go to waste. I'm going to take everything I've got and use it to be a light and a lens for you. So I'm here. I'm available. This wasn't very long. Maybe it'll get deeper as time goes along. But I just wanted to stop by and let you see my face and hear my voice. The church was not designed with you in mind. The church was not designed with you in mind. You can follow me at Mel the Messenger on IG. You can follow me at Mel the Messenger on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. You can email iammelthemessenger@gmail.com if you would like to have any questions answered. I'm willing to do that if you have any inquiries. My website is also melthemessenger.com. Okay? I love you. I'm here for you. I'm praying for and with you. And even that concept has been taught incorrectly, but we'll get into it over time. Okay? Any questions? Let me see. It said 2 people watching. Who are the 2 people? Mm-hmm. I'm about to sit, have my tea, and meditate because this is the new church for me. This is how I made it over. I love you to life, and I'll see you on the altar.